The push pattern, also called the chest press, bench press, or push-up, is one of 7 primal movements. People generally do this to work on their pecs, their chest, but it's not just a chest exercise. So knowing this, the other muscles that contribute to this movement and the progression in this movement is very important to be able to do the movement properly. So stay tuned, we'll talk about that today in this video. Greetings, I'm Kim So. I'm the owner of SolCore Fitness. I've been in the health and fitness field for about 30 years. I started as a personal trainer. I am now a soma therapist and soma trainer, which is kind of like a physical therapist, but a little bit more underneath the osteopathic model. But in the beginning, when I was a personal trainer, the chest press or push pattern was a big part of the program I put for myself and all my clients. And I used all the available tools I had: dumbbells, barbells, cables, pec deck, body weight, you name it. I knew all the techniques and all the forms, but I noticed that some people, and a little bit myself, we started to get a little bit of shoulder pain. And at that time, they're taught how to do it and some stretching for it, but it's not a lot. It's not very in-depth. And so the best you can do is lay off this movement pattern until it got better. But as I delved into becoming more of a osteopathic therapist and trainer, I started to see the biomechanics of the shoulder. And I equated that with the push pattern and what it took. And I saw, man, there's a lot missing in teaching you how to do this movement, because it's more about holistic, not just about technique. So on this channel, that's the way I want to present information, is holistic. I wanted to tell you about all the different factors that are involved in whatever topic we're talking about, not just give you 3 steps or 3 things to do to fix all your problems. So if you're interested in hearing that, then subscribe to the channel. I put out a video about once a week, so don't forget to hit that bell. Please like and share this video. It tells the YouTube algorithm gods that it's a good video and I can help more people because it becomes shared. And stay tuned. As I said in the beginning, the chest press is not just for the chest. It's a compound movement. Compound movement means there's a bunch of different muscles and joints that are involved in producing a movement. And so the chest press, however you do it, involves the pec, the lats, the shoulders, the biceps, the triceps, the forearm muscles, the hand muscles, the wrist joint, the elbow joint, the shoulder joint. They all need to coordinate themselves along with the rest of your body to produce the movement. So if you're looking for something to just focus on the chest, like you want to work the chest muscle, then you have to work it segmentally. In this case, you want to work it with a pec fly, right? You want to do a pec fly, but you want to do it from more of a diagonal angle, because that's the way the fibers run, at different angles. By doing this enough times, I now increase how much I use my pec. So let's take a stupid example. Let's say I have not a lot of pec muscle, right? And I go to do a push movement, doesn't matter which one. My body will still do it because I'm telling it to do a movement, but it does it by compensating the movement. So it knows that, oh look, I don't have a lot of pec muscles, so that means I need to use more of my lats, shoulders, whatever, right, to produce the movement. That's just a fancy way of saying you're cheating. So you're cheating to do the movement, right? And so if you don't care about cheating, then go for it, right? But if you want to do it right, you need to also train all these muscles involved with the push pattern segmentally. By training segmentally, like the fly I talked about for the chest, I now increase how much muscle tissue I have in a certain area. By increasing the muscle tissue, I now increase the neuromuscular coordination or information to and from my body, and I also increase the vascularization because there's more arteries. Now I have a fully functioning pec. Now when I go through and I do the chest press, along with all the other muscles I segmentally did, I now can produce a movement much less likely to cheat because it has more available tools. This is because we are a collection of muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, joints, all connected organs, all connected by fascia as one cohesive machine, right? So we're only as strong as our weakest link. And so if I have no pec muscle, then I'm only as strong as that. And so I can work out, but eventually that load will break that link, which means it'll break my body, and force it for you to have to pay attention to it. So it's a very good idea to first, before we get to the pattern, train your body segmentally in the areas that you need assistance on. Okay, so you've gone through your body, you've trained it segmentally to work on those weak links, you've stretched your body fascially to make sure it's nice and balanced, and now you want to work on the push press, the push pattern, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. You can do it open chain, which means like the last joint is free, like a barbell dumbbell. You can do it closed chain, like a push-up, because the last joint is fixed and you push yourself away from the ground. Again, like I said, you can do it barbells, dumbbells, cables. You can do it bilateral with both arms. You can do it unilateral with one arm. You can do it with rotation. There's so many different ways you can do this, and also combine it with different movements, and all that is good. But it's best to start with the basics, right? Because the basics will lead to being able to do these more complex movements more effectively. So if I jump too quickly in these complex movements, my body's gonna start to guess, how should I do this, right? Which is gonna 100% lead to bad form and complications. So when you're working on the push pattern, for open chain, start with like a chest press with a barbell. Barbell is a little bit easier to control than 2 dumbbells because you have 1 bar. When you do the barbell, start light and have a good posture. Make sure your feet are planted. You have a good posture on a bench. You're not arching your back or letting your head go backwards. You're nice and solid on that bench. You can also do it closed chain, like I said, like a push-up. So a push-up, you can start anywhere from leaning against the wall to work your way down to the ground to end up either on your knees or on your toes doing a push pattern. But again, it's best to start with the basics and really focus on the form of this push press or chest press to make sure you have that down first. Have you taken the time to go through your body segmentally and strengthen and stretch it to prepare yourself for this push pattern? Have you working on the basics first? Let me know in the comments. So like I said, it's important to practice this with good form. Now there's 2 big places I see people screw up in this pattern all the time, and they're very important. The first is posture. The second is the movement between their arms and shoulder blades. So first with posture. To break it down simply, if one of your goals of working out is to have good posture and to not get injured, then training your body with good posture is very important. Because simply, if I train myself, I load myself, which is an education to my body, with good posture, I will educate and train myself to have good posture. If I train with bad posture and bad form, then I get a bad body, bad form, injuries, immobility, and weakness, right? So you want to have a neutral posture when working with these different postures. A neutral posture simply means you keep yourself neutral, which should be good curves in your spine and a nice good posture. So whenever you do it. So when you do a push-up, you're not leading with your head or dropping your pelvis down, right? You're going down, up and down evenly, not changing your posture. When you're doing a chest press, you're not overly arching your back or taking your head off the bench, right? Because that's pulling you out of posture in that position. The second part is that movement of the arms and shoulder blades. So whenever I do a push pattern, whether open chain or closed chain, with a dumbbell or a barbell, or like a push-up, as I do the negative, which would be the weight coming down toward me, or me pulling myself down to the ground or whatever surface I'm doing a push-up on, my shoulder blades need to retract. It means come together. So as I come down or bring the weight down, my shoulder blades come together. And then as I do the concentric movement, which is pushing the weight away or pushing me away from the surface I'm doing a push-up with, my shoulder blades need to protract, which means go back out to the side. The main muscle involved with that retraction, protraction is your serratus anterior. It starts here on the side of your body, kind of below into the side and in line with your pec, and goes around and attaches to your shoulder blades. But like the rest of your body, it doesn't work alone. It works intimately with your rhomboids, muscles between your shoulder blades. And then it works with your sciatic joint, which is a joint behind your shoulder blades. There's more, But those three basic areas are involved in the retraction and protraction of the shoulder blades. This is important because if I can't allow the force to move into the shoulder blades from the arms and back out, then I get bad forces on the shoulder. That's a big part. That's why people have shoulder pain. It's because they can't retract, protract the shoulder blades. So again, I go back to it again. You want to train these areas segmentally. You want to make sure the serratus anterior and all the different fan positions are strong. So when you see a serratus anterior exercise, either I call it a shoulder blade push-up, a shoulder blade push-up, or you can do a push press, right, with a dumbbell. You want to work in different angles, right? Because the serratus anterior is a fan, so it's not just this plane it works in different planes. Then you also want to train the rhomboids. You want to train and make sure you train them in the above glenohumeral angle. Then you want to train the serratic joint and also get treatment in that area. So it's very, very important, like I said, to train yourself in these primal movements, right? These primal movements, squatting, pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, twisting, and gait, are involved in what you do outside of here. I'm pointing to outside my studio. But you don't want to just jump into those movements because, again, those are compound movements, which means they're involved. There's a lot of muscles and joints involved in these movements. If you don't take the time to segmentally go through your body and train these areas, you will 100% eventually lead to some sort of pain, immobility, and weakness because you've jumped steps. You've ignored your body and what it needs, and you've just gone and done what you want to do. So if you're looking for help on this, I'd be glad to help. In the description below, I've got a free ebook. It is 4 steps on how to live a strong, pain-free body to live a life of your choosing. So all you have to do is go to that link, click on it, put in information, you get an instant access. Or if you want to have more of a conversation, in the description below again, you can click on it, it's to my calendar link. You choose a time, we'll talk, and then I'm gonna give you valuable information no matter what. And if I see you're a good fit to work with me, I'll let you know and how you can, but I wanna make sure that your questions are answered first. So thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.